Hello and welcome, my name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates, and a very bright, breezy, sunny day here in Brackley to you all. Hope you have a wonderful weather. I managed to get to walk around the garden this morning, so that's a result. Anyway, thank you for joining me for our second card in the series of Beside Me for the stamp set of the week. Today is Wednesday and we are on our second card. So here we go. So it is a card that is out of my comfort zone, should I say. It's not the kind of card I normally create, but I felt, why not give it a go? It's always good to have a go of something that maybe you wouldn't normally do. And hopefully if you do, you will find you are pleasantly surprised with the result. So I've done two versions of this card. One for the landscape, because I felt that the dad and the two children fishing needed to be on a landscape, but however I have done a vertical one where the dad and the little boy are looking at the horizon. So you can see this design works in both ways. So let me bring in the supplies for today. Now, I was a little bit stuck on colour coordination of what I was going to do with my cards today. So I don't know if you've ever done it. I popped onto Pinterest. I typed in colour combo Stampin' Up, and then I put pumpkin pie because I knew I wanted to use that one, and it came up with the colours. So they gave me Old Olive, Pumpkin Pie and Basic Grey. So for me, this is a new one. So not only is it a new design, but it's also a combination that is from not one I would normally put together. So today's card is an ideal card for using up scraps of designer series paper. So I dug through my designer series paper scraps today and I found up this bit, which I felt was a really good piece of paper that would match really nicely with the stamp set I'm using, which is the dad with the bicycle, which, bear with me, I've actually taken out of the box. So let's do that now. There she is. There she is. There he is. And I will get my big block to put onto there. Okay, so let me give you measurements to start with. So we've got our normal base, which is 8 inches by 5 3/4, which we will fold at the 4-inch mark. I have a piece of pumpkin pie, which measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, which is our layering piece. I then have the basic grey, which I'm going to cut down, and I'll give you the measurements for that in a second. I've designer series paper, which measures 2 1/2 by 3 inches, and I have a matching piece in Whisper White or Basic White. Again, 2 3/4 by 2 1/2 by 3, and I've got a backing card for that, for both of those in my grey granite. I've then got a piece of 1/2 inch by 2 1/2 inches for my sentiment. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to cut this piece of grey, basic grey down. I'm going to make it 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to do 2 3/4. Actually, let's cut that by 3 1/4 first. That will give me a much easier cut. So then we've got 2 3/4, and that should be exactly the same. Look at that, perfect. Right, and then they can be layered on. So my designer series paper can be layered on top straight away. So let's use my Stampin' Seal. So as I say, rather than cut into the expensive designer series paper that is sitting there waiting for a posh project, and you've got all those little bits of scrap kept in the cupboard, this is the ideal card. So that's that one. So the next thing to do now is to stamp our image onto this piece of paper. I'm going to do it in Pebble Path. So let's stamp that out. And then straight on. So So this 2.5 by 3 inches will fit all three images for this particular stamp set. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that down on there. Could have been a slightly lower, and then Dad's head wouldn't be banging on the ceiling, but that doesn't worry me because, as usual, I've already got my piece which I've coloured in and now can be mounted onto that piece of basic grey. There we go. Lovely. Now, obviously you could have this in the horizontal position by putting it one there and then one there, but it just, in this particular thing, it wouldn't work. So turning it round, I'm making sure that I've got top left hand corner is my designer series paper, and then bottom right hand corner is my design. I suppose we could try it in the other way. So bottom right hand corner DSP, top left hand corner picture. No, I think I prefer it the other way. Mind you, I could turn it round that way. Let's have a look. Let's see what we think. Do we prefer that or the other way round? Questions and decisions. No, I think I prefer it with the designer series paper at the top left hand. So as I say, top left hand corner, I'm making sure that the gap here at the top is similar to the gap here on the left hand side, and then I'm just going to stick that down with my glue. I'm going to use the multi-purpose because then that just gives me that tiny bit of wiggle room should I need it. So up the top. Okay, I'm fairly happy with that, and now I can put my picture on the bottom, but I'm going to use dimensionals to rise that one up a bit. So let's grab some of those. So I'm going to put one there. I'm just going to work it out this way rather than put it on the back of the card, get it wrong and find it just makes the picture uneven, because obviously this is slightly higher already because it's layered. So it's going to go there. One bottom left. Yeah, and then I just need to put one that mirrors that one up there. Lovely, and as you can see, there are no dimensionals on the top of that. So let's get my pick tool. So it's one. It would be one if it would come off. There we are. Oh, come on. There we are. Perfect. And now that can go over and I can hover, making sure that the area to the right is similar gap on the cardstock as it is on the bottom. I think. I'm just going to move it over just a touch. That's why I haven't stuck it down. So that's good. Give it over a tiny bit more. There. Down a bit. Yep, I'm happy with that now. There we go. Popped it down. Perfect. So now we can put our sentiment on, which is this little one here. And again, I'm just going to use the happy birthday. Let's get me a block for that. Yeah. And I shall stamp that in the pebble path. Yep, happy with that. Lovely. And then I can pop that. It fits perfectly on there. Do I raise it? Bring it down slightly. Definitely going to raise it, so let's get the dimensionals on the back of that. You know me, I like to give a little bit of dimension to the cards. And then we can go over it. just before I make a decision, do I want it to go there instead? No, I think that takes the bike out too much. Even if I lowered it down, would that work? No, there's too much dimension at the bottom and nothing at the top. Right, let's have a look. Actually, I think I'm going to pop that there, and then it lines up with the white of the picture. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that measures there and lines up with that one to there. Perfect. And now we can pop it onto our piece of cardstock. Yep. Right, let's fold that in half. Burnish with the bone folder. And then that can be layered flat onto there. Yep, that works for me. Now this is the card we will be creating, Coffee and Cards on Thursday, so if you'd like to give it a go, you're very welcome to pop down. We are at Filter Coffee in Bicester. If you're not sure where that is and you are in the vicinity of Brackley area or anything like that, drop me a comment and I will send you directions. But we shall be making something very similar to this on Thursday. So that was quite quick. I think the only time would have taken up would have been the colouring. So I hope you like that card. I'm very pleased with it. Join me again on Friday for our final card in the series, and I shall be returning to something that I'm more comfortable with to create. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you've got wonderful weather and that you can get out and enjoy it. So until we catch up next time, take care, lots of love. Bye.